APR. There's a couple of different situations with this that we do. Mostly they're either equal repayments or a single end repayment. So if we were borrowing £500 for 3 years at 2%, we've got most of our information right at the beginning. So we get given this formula in the exam. So it's a thing you have to know how to use rather than to have learnt. So if we start off, then we've got C, which is the amount we borrowed, which is our £500. We have got T, or K, depending on how you look at it, which is 3 years. And we know what our interest is, and our interest is at 2%. So when we write that as a decimal, that's going to be 0.02. So if we then deal with our two options, first off, we're looking at one final payment. So we need to know what that payment is, and that payment is going to be A. So looking at our equation, we've got the amount we borrowed, and that equals to nothing repaid in the first year, nothing repaid in the second year, and at the end of the third year, we have our repayment in the third year, and that is over 1 plus our interest, where that is to the power of 3 because it is our third year. So what we've got is the amount we originally borrowed. We've got our numbers of years. So that comes from there and there. And we've got our interest written as a decimal, which goes in here. And we know, or we don't know yet, our final repayment. That's going to be A. So if we need to calculate A, what we need to do is multiply both sides by this. So we end up with 500 times by the bit on the bottom. So that is 1 plus our interest to the power of 3 because it's 3 years, and that's going to give us A. So for neatness, we will reorder it. So we've got 500 times by 1 plus 0.02 to the power of 3 because it is our third year, and that gives us an answer of a final repayment of £530, 60p. So that's for part A. For part B, we've got 3 equal yearly repayments, and that one's a little bit more fiddly. So that was part A. So for part B, we're looking at 3 equal repayments. So our repayment is still going to be where the A is in the equation. So in the same way as the previous equation, we've got £500 that we borrowed, and then in our first year we are paying back A and over the interest, and that's our first year, plus A over 1 plus our interest, second year, plus A over 1 plus our interest, third year. Okay, so if we just make it slightly clearer that that's the previous question. So what we've got, these have all got an A in common, so we can rewrite that as 500 equals A 1 over 1 plus 0.02 plus 1 over 1 plus 0.02 year 2 plus 1 over 1 plus 0.02 year 3. So what we've effectively done is we've taken the A from there and grouped it at the front. So to find out what A is, we've got to divide 500 by this. So that gives you a value for A. So we've got our 500 and we would be dividing by this massive bracket, and this massive bracket is 1 over 1 plus 0.02, that's our first year, 1 over 1 plus 0.02 to the power of 2, because that's our second year, plus 1 over 1 plus 0.02 for our third year, and then we'll put a final bracket in just for neatness. So what that tells us is our value of A. So A is going to be £173.38. So you've got an annual repayment of £173.38. So overall, in order to borrow your £500, it would have cost you £520.13p rather than the one final repayment, which would have cost you £530.60p.